Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. Mark here on this windy, blustery day. We had a storm roll through last night, and apparently we have another thunderstorm that's going to be coming through today or tonight, this evening. And of course, this is the wind, so the flapping of the tent here. The sun's pretty warm when you're standing out in there, and we have these just to shelter this, this little hut barbecue area we have. So what I'm doing here is we received this grain mill from somebody that, well, she often visits the farm, and her grandfather actually had this, and he had some birds which he ground the feed for. So my understanding is he did pass away, and she wanted to put this to good use. So it's been kind of sitting here on the shelf just as a display. We've got quite a few older things on display. It's just neat for people to see. We haven't really used it that much, but I've been wanting to use it on our eggshells. So we collect our eggshells throughout the year, throw them in the oven or in the microwave for a couple minutes just to dry them out to get rid of all the gooey stuff, and then grind them down. So we do make our own feed with grains, natural grains, but we're missing a couple things. We're missing calcium and we're missing proteins. So the calcium, we ground this down and we mix this, the eggshells, in with that. You can also use oyster shells as well. That's a good source of of calcium. But the protein, where that comes from, is fish meal and kelp. So those are the two things that we add to the grain to kind of bring those proteins up. Because in the wintertime, well, they're inside and it's just all the bugs are covered in snow and they just don't get that protein. So I'm going to try this out for the first time right here. Now this unit, it's got a date stamped on it of 87. So I'm guessing it wasn't 1987. It is likely 1887. So we're going to throw probably not too much in here because I haven't done this yet. So I've put a container under the bottom here and it's simply crank. So let's give this a shot. So it does seem to work very nicely. However, I can't put too much in here because the throat of this has kind of an angle. They get caught up. So I needed actually a little pusher to put it in. But it grinds really fast and really easily. So you can see here, there's the nice fine grinds, which is a nice size for the chickens. So this is what it looked like beforehand. You try to crunch it up as much as you can, so once you have the eggs, you just squeeze them, or you take like a kind of a pestle mortar kind of idea, or even just I found a cup, like a coffee cup works good. Just kind of squish it down. But they're still a little fine, like or not. They're coarse. So could you imagine a chicken trying to eat that? It's just a little bit bigger. Wow, that wind. Okay, I'm going to get out of this tent area and we're going to go over and see the new one that came in. So we got a little lamb that came in earlier this week. Tara went and picked them up. And then we've got some other ducklings. So we'll head over there and check them out. Oh, that wind is something else. So the rain we got last night, this is our entrance, our driveway area, and the entrance into the farm. So it's a little damp. All right, so we put George, the new one, in here with this crew. And we figured we'd start him off in here and then he can graduate up into the other area. So it's always good to slowly introduce them. Hi, Sheldon. How do you like your new buddy? Hey? How do you like your new buddy? Hey? Yeah. What are you doing? So Moira is still a little skittish, and she is the far one. And this here is George. George? Hi! And Sheldon's right here checking me out. So the story with George is George was at a farm probably about 45 minutes away from here. And we were contacted because he was abandoned in the field, essentially. So it was a sheep farm, And what they did is they took him in and they bottle fed him. So that's why, oh, Sheldon. Still got to give him a little jab, eh? He was abandoned. He was bottle fed by the owners, so he's about 3 months old now. He still is intact, if you can see that. So we're going to get him fixed. We think he's a little bit too large to band, so we may have to go into the vet. So they finished bottle feeding and went to put him back out in the field, and he was too friendly, so he would not rejoin the herd. So, well, what better place for him to be than here? Sheldon, you just want to be the center of attention, don't you? You're just like Fernando. So this is George. Look at this. We got lots of rain last night, but this is not only due to the rain. Tara has a hose that's kind of shooting from that rock over there, just making this a big wet area for the ducks and ducklings. And look what we have here. So these are the new ones that hatched out. So our Muscovy hatched these little ones out. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, they're all there. So these ones, as well as the little turkey chick, which is somewhere around, as well as those little black ones there, are the ones that were underneath the front wash bin that I had pointed out, and they are Cayuga. All right, here's a little bit more of a close-up of these ones. Yes, are those your babies? They're cute. So these are all little Muscovies. Let's see if we can find the other. There are, I believe, 16. Oh, we got one that's running. Scared of the big human. Oh, there they are over there. There they are. And then we've got our, what is this? Cheese and crackers. They're lounging. So these are the older Muscovies, the teenage Muscovies. And they're hanging out over here. So there was a little bit of fighting going on between the moms and these guys, trying to keep them away from the babies. But they're now merged in with the crew, and it's not so bad, as long as they don't get too close, which they haven't been. So these ones, if you look at the tail, you can see the brown coloring. So these are brown Muscovy ducks. Not sure of the sex quite yet. Oh, big stretch. Hey, George. So that's the smaller pen for the specialty animals, the special crew. And then we come into the larger area here, which goes all the way to the back. Our drainage seems to be working really good. So this is kind of sucked into the ground nicely. Putting the pond in last year, everything was graded so that it drained out nice. So there's a little bit of a swale you can see in here, and the eaves that come off the roof here kind of come down and drain down into this area here. And this is kind of the pig pen where the water sits, and the pond overflows into this area here. And this is where the pigs like to come in and cool off. We have Petey over here. I'm not sure where Piper is at the moment, but here's Petey. Hey, Petey, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? Where's your girlfriend? Oh, shake. And the hi guys over here. How you boys doing? There's a whole pond over there. We've got these automatic watering units, but we were gonna disconnect this one and put it over in the female rabbit hutch just over there, because there is a whole pond, guys. Hey. And Fernando. Not all poofed up. There's no visitors quite yet, so he's kind of in waiting mode. until the visitors come. Some of the band of bros and Hannibal. Oh, we got a few sheep in here. We got Turbo and Hannibal. And we have Lambert. Where's Tinker? Tinker's over here. Tinkerbell. You guys have the right idea. Getting out of the sun and into the shade. And Lucy. Who else oh, there she is. There's Piper. Hi, Piper. How you doing, girl? Hi. Are you lounging? Yeah. And Bronwyn. Now her, we have been watching her horns. They are kind of curling around, but there's still room there, so she doesn't need to have a chunk of the end of it removed. But we'll be watching that just in case. Now inside the barn, the girls, and when I say the girls, I'm meaning Marlene, which is one of our volunteers and one of our Patreons. She's in there with Tara, and I'm going to head in there shortly as well. I'm off work this week, which is great, so I took a week off to get things done. And one of the things, and I had mentioned this in one or two of the other videos, is we're going to paint the inside of the barn. So we're going to put a couple coats of primer. You like that, Fernando? Yeah. A couple coats of primer on that. And then Dulux Paints is a company that we work with through my work. And I contacted the sales manager, and he was nice enough to donate some paint. Some off-tint blues that we're going to mix all together to get a nice blue. And then we've got some white as well, so we're going to paint the whole thing blue. And then we're going to use the white to do like clouds on the ceiling. And then eventually some trees and some nice scenic things. So we'll do a time lapse of as we go along and do the painting. I think that'll look really cool. And then I'll give you updates. I'll likely do a midweek update on that and whatever else happens around the farm. So let's go see where everybody else is. Chansey, Marley, and Barry. You guys getting your feet on, and Paula in the back there. What's been interesting is Willow, which just had a filly, which is over here. She is really bonded to Shadow, and you see them quite often. But of course, when Little Meadow wants a drink and wants her mama, then of course she'll go and see her mama. Won't you? What are you eating? What are you eating? Hey? What is that? Yeah, so she's often seen running around and playing, and it's been quite cute. So yeah, Shadow's been an excellent auntie. And then we've got the kids. So here is Snow, and those, yes, those are your kids. I was thinking this was Nemoid. Nemoid is kind of gray, and the Snow's dark one is black with the white ears, which is starting to get a little darker. Hey! So these guys go to their new homes in mid-August, I believe it is. So they hang around here and do our goat yoga, and then they head off to their new homes in August. Now the other kids must be out back. We've got some ducks and geese lounging. So that's a check goose. Check goose, check, check, check. Oh, and the loud one there, that is a Chinese. And it looks like we've got one of the pecans. Yeah, right behind that tree there. One of the pecans and a rowan duck. I'm going to head into the barn. Well, first go grab my GoPro, and I'm going to do a time lapse of the painting inside there, and then we'll come back out and check on the rest of them and see how everybody's doing. The kids and the other mamas are probably in the back. That's Turbo. Hey, Turbo. Did you get up from your nap? Did ya? Yeah, you gonna go out back and check out the other ones? All right, so cue the time lapse of the first coat. Oh, that was to change my shirt. The time lapse will be coming right up. I just want to show you the inside, the before. So some of you that have been watching have known that these, or this area here, is where we keep our feed. So we keep them in the blue barrels. This is outside. Look at how clean that window is. Tara went and cleaned that, and it's like there's not even a window there. So that is the outside covered barn area. So the ceiling, so this is the problem, is it's this OSB board, and it gets very dusty during the winter months. It just collects dust. So we want to seal that with some paint, and we thought we'd liven it up and make it look nice. So we're going to leave it bare below on these 2x6s that are lower. Just because we don't want the animals to be chewing at the wood and getting paint. So it'll be painted from here up and across the ceiling and that area in here. Tara did take out the cages that were all in here. We will then remove this here once we get to that area. And in the pigeon area, she's moved this away from the wall. And we're debating on whether we're going to put up boards here. I think that was part of the plan, was to put the boards along the bottom as well to make it look the same throughout. So that is what the barn currently looks like. Wow, is it ever hot outside. It's actually a lot cooler in the barn with all the concrete. It's 30, what is it, 30 degrees out, 37, feels like 37. So it is hot and humid. So we're gonna go into the barn. Sounds like Tara is just finishing. Here's Tara.
Hi.
And into all the doors we go. And here we go. Well, we're not quite finished. We ran out of primer in this area. So we've got another 5-gallon. Let's turn on some lights here. There we go. And here it is. All right. So here we go. First coat of paint is on. We're gonna do a second coat of paint tomorrow. And I will be doing a midweek video, obviously, on how we're coming along. Now the finished product is going to take some time. So we'll get the other coat on here of primer, and then we're going to put blue. So the whole idea is we're going to do blue all on the ceiling and walls. These posts won't be blue. They're actually going to be brown, so they're going to look kind of like trees. Now, we also have, there was an idea here, we had put these boards on. Now this is unfinished lumber that we had, I'm not sure where we got, but we got some from somewhere. Tara does a lot of bartering. But what we might do is take and put those up so it actually looks like a tree. And then on the ceiling, we'll maybe do some green coming out, some leaves, and a few different ideas. So leave your comment below as to what you think we should do in here. This is kind of a small area. We thought about putting like a field, hay bales or something to that effect out there. Here, maybe some trees. And then we haven't done this yet, so this is gonna have to be done as well. So this has been all stripped out. We're gonna kick the birds out for the day, put them outside, and we're gonna paint this. So it's gonna really clean it up, and we're going to replace the top of their nesting boxes there, and then we'll paint, make it look like a little barn or something cute. So give us some ideas as to what you think we should do on the walls. So that is pretty much it for in here for tonight. We're gonna head in, we're gonna cool off, and I might go for a little swim. Fernando was here looking in the window. This window was completely open. Of course, he was looking in the window. Just Hannibal's here. So it looks like all the other ones are out. Hi, Hanny. Oh, look at him. Look at the air conditioning. See how they pull their wings apart? That's how they keep cool. They'll pull out their wings, let the air get in underneath those wings and cool off. There's Fernando. What you doing, buddy? Okay, that is it for this video. So I will be posting another one, likely Wednesday, I'm guessing. And we'll give you an update as to that and what else is going on. I didn't go up and see the boys up front, but I will make sure that I do that midweek. So that's it. Have a wonderful week and rest of your weekend, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.